Hello, good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night, whenever you're watching this video. As I'm recording, it's 11:03 p.m. here in Albuquerque on August the 12th, which is a Tuesday. And I am slowly putting together a list of topics that I want to cover on this channel, which is Christianity on the Bottom Shelf. Part of the problem I'm having is finding things that I can make myself stay simple on. I'm not a professional theologian, nothing like thereunto, but I've been a Christian long enough and read enough and thought enough that I can become very prolix. Ex-PFC Wintergreen, who became ex-Sergeant Wintergreen, would have said my prose is too prolix. It was from that book, Catch-22, that I learned the word prolix. Tonight as I'm recording, whatever it is that you're watching, and by the way, standard disclaimer right now at least, I don't know when I'm going to upload this. I am not necessarily uploading videos in the same order in which I record them. It might be that the video I recorded the furthest back waits the longest. It might be that the video I recorded between the two ends winds up being the next one. Who knows? It's whichever I want to upload come the day I upload it, and I'm trying to do that on Sundays. That was my habit when I was previously regular in uploading. But I'm slowly making a list of things that I want to cover here on Christianity on the Bottom Shelf. In the meantime, I'm just sitting down and recording on whatever comes to mind. Eventually, I'll start working from the list. But this means that I may record a video on something that's already on the list and we'll wind up with two videos. It may mean that I record a video on something I've already covered previously. And that might happen even working from the list. I am not going to take the time and trouble to go back and see what I've already talked about. So you may get repetition. I, of course, never repeat myself redundantly in a repetitive and redundant fashion. I work for the Department of Redundancy Department. Okay, there go the bad jokes. I am very good at bad jokes, believe me. I can tell a bad joke like nobody's business. I can tell living daylights out of a bad joke. And if it's a good joke and I tell it, it's probably going to come out bad. But what I want to do tonight is just kind of ramble. Because, after all, Christians are human beings who live in the world as it is, who live in the particular countries and societies and cultures in which they live. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is 2025. It's August the 12th, as I mentioned. Going to be the 13th soon. And as a side note, don't worry about the number 13. Don't worry about ladders and black cats. If you believe the Bible, there is no room in your mind for superstition. The Bible and superstition are incompatible. If whether you walk under a ladder determines how your luck will be that day, then God's not in charge. But if God's in charge, He determined whether you would walk under that ladder. He determined how your day would go. And you need to forget the ladder and bow down and worship Him, instead of worrying about luck or karma or fate. There are people who will say, when someone dies young, he was taken too early. Who makes that decision? Who says it's too early? Do you say it's too early? Who are you to judge? This is in God's hands. He determines the length of your days. Whether it's 3 years, which is terribly hard on the parents, I know, and so does God. Don't worry. God knows that. Or 30 years, or 70 years, or 99 years. God determines the length of your days. He determines what occurs in each and every minute of your day. What about free will? Actually, I shouldn't have been mocking on that. It is a valid question. And maybe someday I'll do a video specifically on how free will and divine sovereignty relate. We do freely make our own choices. It was my choice to sit down here with my Bible, although I've not opened it. I always like to have it here, and not just as a talisman. If I need to look something up and I have to go in there to get it, I'm an idiot. I may be an idiot anyway. But I made the choice to be here, to bring my Bible, to bring this particular Bible, to set my phone where it is, to set the chair where it is, to pick this shirt. And God decreed before the foundation of the world that I would make those free choices. How does that fit together? How are my choices genuinely free and yet decreed by God? I don't know. And that's another subject that might work for a video. Every Christian must be prepared to honestly say, I don't know. How does free will and predestination fit together? I don't know. All I know is that the Bible teaches both as being true. Therefore, both are true. And it is not my business to reconcile two truths. Charles Spurgeon said that they're parallel lines, or almost parallel. As far as we can see, they never touch. But in the mind of God, they do. In the mind of God, they're perfectly reconciled. But we don't know the mind of God except as far as He has revealed it. And what He has revealed is that I make free choices, which God decreed I would make. They're genuinely free. They're genuinely predetermined. Okay, I can't understand it. I'll be honest, I've been married to my wife for 46 years. I say 46 years, our anniversary will be on the 29th. This video may or may not be on YouTube by the time that happens. Do you know how much I understand her? About yay much. There's a cultural difference. She's Korean, I'm American. We've been together for a long time. We have learned some of each other's culture, but she still has Korean attitudes. I still have American attitudes, and sometimes they're very different. There's a language difficulty. I speak fluent English and just a few bits and pieces of Korean. She speaks fluent Korean and broken English. She didn't come to the States till she was 31, and as an adult, it's hard to learn a new language, especially one as idiosyncratic as English. You know, take the possessive pronouns. Mine, yours, hers, theirs, his, ours. Mine doesn't fit. They're all S except mine. There's an ungrammatical, or at least non-standard, Southern set of pronouns. Mine, ourn, yourn, hern, hisn, theirn. You notice they all end in the same sound. But standard English doesn't. How are you supposed to keep that straight in your mind when English is not your native language and you didn't start really trying to learn it till you were in your 30s? So we have that barrier. And then there's the simple fact that I'm a man, she's a woman. I remember, I think it was Time magazine, expressed great shock and surprise when it had to report that Dan Quayle was right. Men and women really are different. Can you dig it? I'm a man, therefore I'm different from my wife, who's a woman, and she's different from me. Who'd have thunk it? I mean, the fact that I can grow a mustache and she can't. The fact that she has feminine anatomy and I have masculine anatomy. The fact that although she has a contralto voice deeper than most women, it's not as deep as mine, and she can't go as far down as I can, and I'm not even a bass. I can't go as high as she can, and she's not a tenor or a soprano. In sacred harp singing, we would say she's not even a treble. Sacred harp singing has from bottom to top as far as pitch: treble, tenor, alto, and bass. Whereas the traditional has soprano, tenor, alto, and bass. And in traditional music, the soprano carries the tune, whereas in sacred harp singing, the tenor, which most people, the largest number of people, are going to fit into, that carries the tune. So men and women are different. Who'd have thunk it? And yet the Bible thunk it thousands of years ago. I don't know the date of the writing of Genesis. I could go grab my old Schofield or some other Bible that gives that information at the beginning of a book, but it wouldn't serve no purpose. Because the point is that Moses knew long ago, and God had stated long ago, that essentially men and women are different. Paul knew it. God created man in his image, male and female. He created them, but man first, then out of man came woman. And Paul says that in the fall, the woman, Eve, was deceived. She believed what Satan told her, but Adam knew exactly what he was doing. He was not deceived. And that, by the way, Paul says, is why we say that Adam fell and lay the blame on Adam and speak of Christ as the last Adam. Because Eve should have known better, but she was deceived. Adam did know better and sinned anyway. Well, we're at 13, so I'm going to just hit this last little point and then end the video. As I said, it's just a ramble video. Adam should have trusted God. God, this woman you gave me has sinned. I don't know what to do. I will do whatever you tell me to do. Instead, he did not trust God. Instead, he followed his wife into sin, and here we are. My hair is gray because of Adam. My right shoulder has been hurting me for at least a week now because of Adam. My hearing isn't what it used to be because of Adam. I'm not as strong as I was 40 years ago because of Adam. I am going to die someday, if the Lord tarries, because of Adam. On the other hand, there's the last Adam, Christ, who will not necessarily save me from physical death, who has not saved me from the effects of sin, but who has saved me from sin itself. I have trusted in him. I have rested in his blood. I have clung to his cross. And whatever happens to me in this world, I know that in the next world, I will be with him, and I will have greater joy than I can possibly imagine, because I will be with him. Now, in various videos I've told you, and I'm going to tell you again, Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners. You are a sinner. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. All have sinned. But if you believe on the Lord Jesus, you will, absolute, unbreakable guarantee, you will be saved. And there's no better place to end the video than that. My prayer is that you will believe and know the salvation that I know.